Now, I want to talk about something else that is very, very important, because in light of the concerns about future authoritarianism, saying, hey, you know what, in an authoritarian U.S., you would start to see, for example, the Trumpists will get lighter sentences or better treatment from the judicial system. This is already sort of happening, and I'm going to give you guys some very specific examples. There's this context we've seen about the Trump rioters, now more than 700 of them who have been charged, that they're being treated so unfairly, that they're being held in bad conditions in jail and prison, pretrial detention, all of these different things. And we actually now have an investigation as to the sentences for these individuals. And it turns out that 2/3 of the sentences for the Trump rioters are milder than what the prosecution has recommended. Judges are getting the recommendation and they're saying, I'm going to give them a lighter sentence in 2/3 of the times. Now, if you look at individual sentences, you'll see right wingers saying 4 years for this, 5 years for that. That's crazy. They're being treated poorly because they're Trumpists. But let's look at the actual data. Judges have declined U.S. proposed sentences in 2/3 of the January 6th cases so far. This is among those who have been sentenced. This is the Washington Post. When federal judges in Washington began hearing guilty pleas from some of the hundreds of riot participants from the riots, some were highly critical of prosecutors for pursuing only misdemeanor charges and not just seeking jail time for many defendants. Is it the government's view that the members of the mob that engaged in the Capitol attack were simply trespassers? Asked District Judge Beryl Howell incredulously in October. Is general deterrence going to be served by letting rioters who broke into the Capitol, overran police, resolve liability through petty offense pleas? But for all 4 defendants Howell sentenced, she has imposed less jail time than prosecutors sought, saying that government plea deals in most misdemeanor cases are forcing judges to choose whether short jail terms or years of probation pose a stronger deterrent. Her decisions are not unusual. The article goes on to say federal judges in D.C. have gone below the government recommendation in 49 of 74 sentencings held for the rioters in the year since the attack. That's about 2/3 of the cases. Most have not yet been sentenced, so we're looking at the ones that have. In 8 cases where prosecutors asked for jail time, the judges opted for probation. Of the 74 people sentenced so far, 35 have been given jail or prison time, 14 home detention, and 25 probation alone. There is a sort of infographic here that you can look at, and we'll link to this, which shows in pink those who got lighter sentences than the recommended. In yellow, those who got harsher, and that applies to, looks like a couple, and those who got exactly what was recommended. It is untrue. It is untrue that the Trump rioters are being treated unfairly, harshly. Now, we're going to get to some of these other aspects later, which include, Republicans saying, well, it's just terrible how they're being held in pretrial detention. They can't build a good defense if that's what you do. Yes, people like me have been saying for decades, pretrial detention, which is disproportionately something for people that can't afford bail in some cases. Sometimes it's because you can't afford bail. Sometimes it's not granted, different situations. We've been saying that needs to be reformed for a really, really long time. The right never cared. Now they care because it's Trumpists. Those same right wingers saying these people are being treated like terrorists. Now, some say they are terrorists, but the conditions in these jails are terrible. One guy didn't even get the vegan food that he asked for. We've been talking about jail and prison conditions in the United States for decades. They didn't care. They used to say, well, if you're there for a reason and you don't deserve to be in a Norwegian hotel, or whatever analogy they like to make. Now they care because it's, quote, their people. So let's look at the facts. 2/3 getting lighter sentences than what was recommended. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at dpacman. Remember that tomorrow, Tuesday, January 11th, 6 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing the first David Pakman Show chess tournament of the year. Make sure you join our chess club. It's free. This is totally free. davidpakman.com/chess. And then you can play in the tournament tomorrow. I hope to see you then.